Anusha?
Yes, sir.
Anusha, unmute பண்ணி வச்சுக்கங்க.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So in the last class we have been discussing about micro manipulation technology. So today we are going to discuss about embryo transfer technology. So we'll have some like an introduction, like a brief note of that, and then we will continue in the next class. So what is embryo transfer technology? So before going to in embryo transfer technology, I just wanted to ask you about IVF, in vitro fertilization. So anyone? In vitro fertilization, IVF. Shruti, can you say what is in vitro? Yes,
It is
yes.
a laboratory process, sir. It takes place in the lab
Very
where
good.
the sperm takes with the egg to form the embryo.
Okay, very good. So when we are coming for an in vitro fertilization, the fertilization process which is done in vitro. So in vitro means outside the body conditions. So the in vivo means inside and in vitro means outside. Okay. So what we are going to do is the same fertilization procedure which is done. The fertilization which is done naturally inside the body, that we are going to do in vitro. So in vitro means we are going to do it in a laboratory conditions. We are going to maintain that in a laboratory condition. Okay, the fertilization will be done in the in vitro conditions. Okay, in vitro means outside the environment, which we will be doing it in the laboratory condition. So there are several steps which has to be followed, and several steps we have to maintain for the in vitro process. Okay, and in a cell culture lab we will be doing that. And so before starting up any in vitro or any embryo transfer, we need a set of conditions, and we need a set of steps to be followed for the cultivation process, in vitro, fertilization process. So the next topic after micro manipulation technology, we are going to see about embryo transfer technology. Okay, the first successful transfer which has been done in rabbit eggs. Okay, so you know that in animal studies we can use mice study, we can go for rats, pigs, monkeys they are doing. Okay, so like that the first successful transfer of fertilized eggs is from rabbit. Okay, so which was reported on 1931. Okay, so this is a transfer, okay, from one to another. So that transfer, that embryo transfer from which has been started with rabbit eggs. Okay, and then so in farm animals, embryo transfer was very successfully done in sheep and goats. Farm animals means, what are farm animals? Sheep, goats, cows will be coming under farm animals. Okay, so the first offspring transfer of embryo in cattle and swine were reported in 1951. So this is about the history of embryo transfer technology. So where it is started and what has been done earlier. So as I said, there are some sequence of steps which is involved in embryo transfer technology. So that includes various steps, like you can also note it down. The first step is selection of donors. Okay, so here itself I will explain. So first one is selection of donors. The second one is induction of super ovulation. Super ovulation. First one is selection of donors. நோட் இருந்தா எடுத்து எழுதுங்க. அனுஷா?
Yes, sir.
யாராவது ஒருத்தர் ரிப்ளை பண்றதுக்காக உங்களை அன்மியூட் பண்ணி வைக்க சொன்னேன். ஓகே, ஸோ ஏன்னா நான் பேசுறது உங்களுக்கு ரிசீவ் ஆனான்னு தெரியணும். ஓகே, யூ டோன்ட் மியூட் யுவர் அனுஷா. So the first one is selection of donors. The second one is induction of super ovulation. The third one is
Second one.
Induction of superovulation. Induction, induction, induction. Induction of superovulation. Third one is embryo collection. Fourth one, evaluation of embryos. Evaluation of embryos. Selection, next one is selection of recipients. The last one is transfer of embryos. Okay, so I will repeat. First one is selection of donors. Second one is induction of superovulation. Third one is embryo collection. Fourth, evaluation of embryos. Fifth, selection of recipients. And the last one is transfer of embryos. Okay, so until now, this embryo transfer technology has been done extensively in the farm animals like cattle, okay, and more sporadically in sheep, goats, and pigs. They have done this in embryo transfer technology. Okay. So now you know about. So what are the steps we have to follow? The first step, first 3 steps for Babon. Next class we will continue with the following steps. The first step is selection of donors. Okay, so for an embryo transfer technology or for in vitro fertilization, the first thing which we have to select is donors. We need a healthy donors for the transfer. Okay, when the embryo is selected, when we are selecting up a particular sample, we have to check that animal is healthier, and then only we will be selecting the donor. Okay. So for selection of the donor, healthy donor, only healthy donor or else we have to follow several conditions for that healthy donor. Okay, first one, in the selection of donor, we have to select the healthy donor. Some of the points which we have to keep in mind. So the first one is between the ages of 3 and 10 years. Okay, the ages of the animal should be 3 and 10 years. The next one is free of genetic diseases and conformational abnormalities. So the animal should not be having any abnormalities or any genetic diseases from the parenthood. Okay. Exhibit regular estrus cycle. Okay, that cycle should be regular. Okay, that animal should be taken, and then shows superior production traits of economic importance. Okay, and then free from infectious diseases. And then the last one is previous sound reproductive performance include no more than 2 insemination per consumption. Okay, that should not be more than 2 insemination. Okay, so these are the criteria which we have to follow in selection of donor. The donor should be healthy, and we have to follow these 6 criteria. After following, after checking all these 6 criteria, then we will be selecting an animal for the donor. Okay, this is the selection of donor. And then induction of superovulation. Okay, superovulation means induction of multiple ovulation. Okay, that superovulation means induction of multiple ovulation by application of exogenous hormones. So what are exogenous hormones? And the hormone appadina PMSG hormone. You want to write PMSG hormone, that is pregnant mare serum gonadotrophin. Pregnant mare, MARE, mare serum gonadotrophin hormone, or as FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. Okay, so these are the some of the examples of the exogenous hormones. Okay, so in the superovulation means induction of multiple ovulation by application of exogenous hormones. And then the third step is embryo collection. Okay, embryo collection in bovines, embryos are recovered by non-surgical methods. Non-surgical methods. These embryos has to be collected. So special catheters are introduced via the cervix of the uterine horn, and the embryos are flushed out. Okay, so these are the non-surgical method we have to follow for embryo collection. Okay, so after taking up the embryo, these are flushed into 250 to 300 ml of flushing medium. That flushing medium is phosphate buffered solution with 1 to 2% of fetal calf serum. Okay, that the embryos collect பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமேல் we have to get that in a 300 ml of flushing medium. That flushing medium will be containing phosphate buffered solution with 1 to 2% fetal calf serum. Okay, so these are the 3 steps which we have discussed. First one is selection of donor. Second one is induction of superovulation. The next one is embryo collection. Okay, so when it has to be collected, the embryo collection in the cow, the embryos usually enter the uterus on the day 4 after estrus cycle. Okay, so in the cow, the embryos usually enter the uterus. Estrus. In the cow, the embryos usually enter the uterus on the day 4. Okay, after that cycle, it will be entering. So after that, we have to collect that. And in case of farm animals like sheep, pigs, and goats, so embryos are recovered in surgical methods. Okay. So how surgically it has been taken? The abdomen of the donors is opened by the midline cut, and the embryos are recovered by flushing oviduct, and then embryos are collected 4 to 5 days after the insemination or mating. So after the mating process, the embryos will be collected after 4 days. Okay, after the mating stage, mate பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறமேல, then after 4 to 5 days, these embryos are collected. Okay, so this is about embryo collection. Next one is evaluation of embryos, that we will be continuing in the next class. இது வரைக்கும் இந்த மூணுல ஏதாவது டவுட்ஸ் இருக்கா? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay, இந்த டாபிக் யார் எடுக்க போறா? நான் முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் எடுக்கணும். நெக்ஸ்ட் யார் எடுக்கறான்னு தெரியுமா? ரவினா இல்லையா?
சார்.
ரவினா, இந்த டாபிக் யார் எடுக்கறாமா? நீங்க நமக்கு சொன்னோம்ல, அவங்க வரலன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பிரியதர்ஷினி வரலையா? Priyadashini, you are taking
artificial intelligence and germ manipulation, sir.
Okay, so today I will send you the notes, Priyadashini. You have asked for the notes.
Okay,
now?
sir.
Today I will send you. Okay. So others, you plan for the seminar and the following days. After completing, you have to take the seminar. Okay? இப்போ இல்லைன்னு நினைக்கிறாங்க. Ravina, you please have a note of who is going to take the seminar in the following weeks. Okay, அது உங்கள்ட்ட இருக்குல்ல? ஓகேவா?
இருக்கு சார்.
பாத்துக்கங்க. ஓகேமா, thank you. And attendance, I will take the attendance and then leave.
CA2
க்கு
notes, sir.
CA2 notes the உடனே இப்ப ஃபோன் அனுப்பிச்சு விடுறேன். இன்னைக்கு வரலனா ப்ளீஸ் ரிமைண்ட் மீ. பிரியதர்ஷினி ரவீனா தேவி, இன்னைக்கு ஈவினிங் குள்ள வரலனா ப்ளீஸ் ரிமைண்ட் மீ, then I will send the notes. And I will send the notes for you also. And இது வந்து third unit will be there. 70% of the third unit syllabus will be there. 30% of second unit syllabus will be there. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Any doubts? வேற ஏதாவது இருக்கா? இருங்க, நான் கொஞ்சம் இந்த நோட்ஸ் இது மட்டும் எடுத்துக்கிறேன். இதே சேம் தானா? இதுலயும் போன கிளாஸ் இதே தான் இருந்தீங்களா?
ஆமா சார்,
சேம் இதே தான். ஓகே, Okay, I will check the attendance. Absentees யாருக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிருக்கீங்களா பிரியதர்ஷினி இன்னைக்கு?
சார் விவேக் சாருக்கு அனுப்பியிருக்கேன் சார்.
அனுப்பியிருக்கீங்களா? ஓகே சூப்பர். நான் வாங்கிக்கிறேன். இல்லை எனக்கு ஒருத்தர் அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டுருங்களேன்.
ஓகே சார்.
ஓகே மேம், ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ. ஸோ தேங்க்யூ.